Welcome everyone. Today we have 17 new glitches in Super Mario Maker 2. Today we used yesterday's co-op building glitch to exceed part limits, clone enemies, and create awesome effects that you wouldn't normally be able to have. So as far as like say a sun, you can only have one sun, we created 20 suns. We play with red coin limits, we play with door limits, Bowser limits, and much more. Be sure to like the video, it does help out the YouTube algorithm and helps out our channel. Without further ado, let's dive in. Glitch number 1. When I spin jump on a seesaw like this, you see that I kind of just land on it. Or if I get popped up, I should go into a normal jump, right? Because this takes me out of my spin. Not if something's falling on it. So if I spin jump down this little corridor, Thwomp hits that at the same time as I hit it, and I still retain my spin jump. Glitch number 2. Notice this path that the snake block is going to go. It goes left, up, right, and then back down. And that should crush us, right? Also notice the clear condition. The don't leave the ground clear condition. So, it crushes us down, we pop up like that, and we retain our clear condition. So, that's pretty strange. Glitch number 3. Notice these parachutes that are on top of these fireball piranha guys. When I start the scene, they just kind of land on the seesaw, no big deal. I'm going to put a roof over top of their head like this. Now when I start the scene, they're actually going to clip into the seesaws a little bit. Notice how they fall down and clip into the seesaw. Now if I move the seesaw at all, like any bit, like a little bit, they'll both fall like that. They clip right through the seesaw itself. And if there's only one piranha on the seesaw, it'll fall immediately when I start the scene. Glitch number 4. When this Pokey falls down and starts bouncing on the spring, you'll notice that it clips into the spring a little bit, but it still continues to use the spring, which is strange. Then it'll go over to the right, and it will not use the right spring. It'll just kind of clip down and then start walking on the launcher. Interesting little mechanic right here. Glitch number 5, similar setup, but this time a big wiggler is going to fall on the springs. The head and the forelegs are going to clip through the springs a little bit, and its butt is going to stay above the springs, which put his head and butt on 2 different levels. We've done this before, but not in this way where the wiggler can actually still walk around with his butt trailing him on top of the springs. Glitch number 6, similar setup yet again. This explains more bad hitbox in Nintendo. So I'm going to sit here and duck like this. As the Goomba travels over top of my head like that, notice how bad these hitboxes are. This should definitely be hurting me, yet it doesn't. Just kind of passes right over top of me. Glitch number 7, similar setup to the other glitches. This time, I'm going to use this dry bone shell right here, and I'm going to jump on a cannon like this. Now, as long as I stay on these 2 cannons, the middle 2, above that middle clown car, I'm fine to just slide around here. But as soon as I cross over to the other one, it will actually crush me. So it'll get rid of my dry bone shell, and it'll get rid of whatever power-up I had. And it'll force me to go down to small Mario like that. Glitch number 8, similar setup yet again. We're going to give you this Lemmy just for reference. He's going to jump up on his ball as soon as we start the scene. And that's what Lemmy tends to do. This Lemmy up here, however, is not going to. Check this out. He's going to just stand on the cannon and throw a ball, but he will not jump up on his own ball. Apparently because of the same exact scenario. The cannons with the one-ways slightly above them. This Lemmy's just ballless. Glitch number 9, similar setup yet again. This time there's a flying chain chomp that I'm going to put on top of one of these launchers like it's in a stack. When we start the scene, it destacks immediately, and the chain chomp will just fly horizontal like this, so it's not jumping anymore because it's kind of stuck in a very small path. Now, because the clown cars aren't moving at all, it's free to roam. But if I start jumping on the clown cars like this, it will actually get crushed with the difference of the pixels. Those little couple pixels, that's why it gets crushed. Glitch number 10, this is the last glitch we're going to do with this setup. These clown cars are placed in a very specific place. This one is 2 blocks underneath it. When I jump on these launchers right here, everything else in this other line is going to get crushed. This needs to have a screen scroll. If it's screen locked down here, it actually won't work for some reason. When I start the scene, I'm going to jump on these 2 launchers right here, and everything else gets crushed. For some reason, distant crushing is a thing. They all die. And I didn't even touch them. One last thing, if I place Toad right here, if there is no screen scroll, the winged Boo will actually get out of the one-way using his hover ability. So the first time he jumps, he doesn't get free, but the second time, he hovers right out of it. So this is kind of interesting, too. Glitch number 11, you're probably well aware that using Link his bow and arrow, we can actually activate P-switches if we hit them like this. Unless we hit at a very precise angle. So notice these arrows over here are not activating that P-switch at all. They are definitely hitting it, but no activation. Glitch number 12. This little setup right here gives predictable shaky launchers. It's kind of like a Hyper-Vibrate setup because you will gain momentum off of this. Glitch number 13, more of a weird mechanic than a glitch. However, these spiky balls are going to fall on different speed conveyors. So this conveyor down here is fast, this one up here is slower, and yet when they hit the question mark block, they will hit it at the same time. Why is that a thing? Glitch number 14. I'm going to place Toad in this spot right here. Now, before this dry bone actually hits us, I'm going to jump. And it's going to clip me through this corner. This is very interesting, actually. Look how easy that works. Damn. Glitch number 15. I think we did this in the past, but this is decidedly cooler because you can actually use a launcher to hide a dry bone shell on a rail like this. So if we start the scene, if this was any normal level and you were Big Mush Mario, you'd be like, I don't know how to get past, unless you jumped into that launcher. It launches you right through the launcher, and puts you above these clouds right here. Glitch number 16. What we have here is a one-way box where you can get out of this, but you cannot go in, or so it would seem. Big Mush Mario inside of a clown car right here can phase right through this corner and go down. Notice how I go right through the corner and I just slide down here, jump out of the clown car, and I made my way through a one-way box. Whee! Glitch number 17. We are going to use yesterday's co-op glitch to clone enemies exceeding the part limit. So we're going to do this with a sun first. Let's place a sun. You know you can only place one sun in the scene. Let's place as many suns as possible. As many suns as we can stand to do it because this glitch does tend to be a little bit tedious. We're going to go into co-op making. Like so. Get out your Joy-Cons. Now that we are in co-op making, I'm going to grab this little node right here and drag it around a little bit so that it doesn't do anything. I tap the mushroom, or really hold the mushroom with Luigi's Joy-Con, then let go with Mario's Joy-Con, and it puts this into a glitch state. Now before I do anything else, we're going to go over to solo making, because what solo making allows us to do is undo things, which is going to be key for this glitch. You see the sun right here? I'm going to delete this sun. And now I tap the side of the rail. I can back out of this. You don't need to apply wings or anything like that. And I'm going to tap whatever's on the rail. This is going to allow me to place invisible items. So I place the sun, which is invisible right now, and then I undo. You're going to notice that we go right back to this sun, but this sun is still here. So when I start the scene, there are going to be two suns available. So I can start it and stop it, and then play around with the different suns that we have. We're going to go ahead and create more suns. In order to get past your part limit here, you have to actually multi-grab it once you have two suns and delete both of them. Now we can go back to this, do that, tap that, place a third sun, and then undo. And now we will have 3 suns. We could do this infinitely. So I went ahead and made 20 suns. This is going to be really, really cool for one reason. It creates a pretty impressive effect. So when they all load like that, they're all going to come down at different times. And it's going to make a weird noise. So there's that we can do with it. This is 20 suns. So the suns are all spread out. Let's load them in one at a time. Now let's see what happens. Now we create an impossible sun barrier. Not impossible, but definitely damn near difficult. This is so cool. The same concept works with moons. All you have to do is just change it to night theme. You don't really have to avoid these. They do look cool though. This time we created way more than the originally allowed 5 red coins in the overworld. So this is 20 red coins in the overworld. You'll see all 10 of those nodes in the top right saying, oh wait, you can still collect all 10 in the subworld. And once you're done collecting pink coins, they will actually not make noise afterwards. You still get the coins. top left, you still get coins, but it does not make any noise when you collect them anymore. Another interesting thing we can do with this little duplicating, exceeding the part limit glitch is create multiple sets of doors. So normally you're only allowed to have 4 doors denoted by their little markings underneath them, like a deck of cards. This time we have, how many doors are this? 4 times 3 is 12. 12 sets of doors. Every time we go into a door, it's going to take us to the top one, though. So if I go into a door right here or right here, I go up top, and I'll show you what I mean. Every time we go into a door that's not the top one, we go into the top door. And every time we go into any of these doors, the corresponding door that's on the bottom is actually going to be the one that animates to close. So say if I go in the top one right here, the bottom set will close. The animation will be triggered. If I go up here, the other one closes, but I get warped up to the top. So this brings a whole new meaning to the term pick a door. So using this glitch, I also created 12 different Bowsers. Normally you can only have 3 in the overworld. The only way you can have them all spawn, though, is if you have them spawn in one at a time. Only 4 will show up on screen right away. But this is 12 different Bowsers. They are angry. This looks pretty cool. Jeez. What's their deal? Are they stacking up? Looks like they're stacking up. Imagine going through that in a level without a star. Yikes.